Yo, I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. In this video, we're going to try to condense the developer update that happened for December into about a 5-minute video versus the 24 minutes on their video, so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. So right now, we're going to talk about all of the major things that are coming in, all of the big things they talked about within the video. We're also going to talk about the big announcement, which was the roadmap, and then I'll fill you guys in on my thoughts of the roadmap towards the end of the video. But first, let's talk about all the big things that they talked about in the video. So they talked about the Winter Convergence event, so it's upon us pretty soon. This year is going to be very similar to the previous Winter Convergence event. If you don't know what that is, you can go over to newworldfans.com. We have an article of the Winter Convergence event over there. And this year is going to be a little bit different though, because there's going to be a big world boss that spawns similar to the Halloween boss. He's going to have unique mechanics, going to spawn in some ads. They said he's going to throw like some hellstones. There's going to be some shockwaves to explode those hellstones, so that ought to be a good time. The Starstone and Amarine mashup expedition is coming in with the December update. That ought to be fun. It's on the PTR right now. I've ran that a few times. It's a mutated expedition, should be in the rotation whenever that goes live. The territory changes, this was a big one. There's some really big territory and war changes coming to New World. There's going to be a 72-hour cooldown that's going to be added to players whenever they leave a company. So for 72 hours after you leave a company, if you join another company, you're not going to be able to participate in any territory control activities with that company, which is like territory influence, race, the wars, etc. There are also war roster limitations that are coming. You're only going to be able to slot a certain amount of mercenaries, so the remainder must be from your company. So if you are on defense, you can only slot 10 mercenaries. If you're on the attacking side, you can slot 25. So they're just trying to limit the number of people outside of your own company. The remainder of the war roster has to be people within your company. So the high level goal here is to allow more people to participate in war and not limited to small groups of people. So the amount of times you can war is also being capped. So the cap is 1 attacking and 1 defending war per day, per account, per world. So we also have some crafting changes coming in. They are ungating recipes behind tiers. So tier 5 stations will still be something you're going to want to have in your settlements, but a lot of the things are being ungated. So like for example, you'll be able to craft tier 5 potions, but special recipes will not be able to be crafted at another station unless it's tier 5. But you'll be able to go like craft tier 5 stations or tier 5 potions like a tier 2 station. And then a lot of the names items are still going to be locked. And then Azoth discounts will be available as the station upgrades. So they're doing this really so that your gameplay is not dictated by somebody else, or like if there hasn't been a station upgraded or territory upgraded. If you are somebody that just likes to craft and gather, hopefully this will open up more opportunities for you if people aren't upgrading those towns, etc., and you don't like to get involved in that side of the gameplay. So we also have town projects. So the XP for town projects were slashed, but there was some unintended effects that happened. So the impact was good for slashing the town projects, but the side effect was not. So a lot of territories were not upgrading due to not doing town projects anymore, because no one was doing them because the XP was slashed. So they drastically reduced the amount of contribution required to complete those town projects by roughly 70 to 80%. So now you'll be able to upgrade a lot faster. 70-80% is a lot. So now let's talk about the big thing. Let's talk about the content roadmap. So the roadmap, let's fast forward in this video just a little bit. We'll get you guys a kind of a picture of the roadmap here. Here it is. So we have the roadmap. We have spring 2023 and summer 2023. So we'll go over what's going to come in here. So the new expedition is called the Empyrean Forge. It's the first of a 2-part story. So the first part is Varangian based, and this is going to be the first time that we're going to be able to fight humanoids as an enemy type. And this could be coming with some new itemization they mentioned. So maybe we'll get like some kind of new Bane, like humanoid Bane or something. I have no idea, but they did allude to that a little bit. Gear set storage system. This is a big one for everyone. So they didn't go in depth. They just said it was coming to the game in spring of 2023. We have the Springtime Bloom seasonal event, which is going to be like another seasonal event, the makeover of towns, the whole thing that we get usually. There's gonna be harvest springtide flowers. You're gonna have to go repel the bugs and then capture some flowers. That's gonna be kind of the gist of the event. Then you're gonna be able to turn them in for tokens and then buy rewards, much like a lot of the other events were. They're improving the MSQ, which is gonna be a big deal in spring of 2023. I think that's always wanted. I think a lot of people really enjoy the MSQ. It'll be nice to have some improvements to there, or even more improvements to there. And then in summer, we're getting a big one, transmog. That's a big deal. They didn't really go into specifics about how it's gonna work, but that is coming in summer. We're getting raid groups, another huge thing. 4 different groups of players to create 20-person groups. So raid groups are going to be 20 people. That was a big question mark in everybody's mind. Now we know 20 people, and it's going to be a way to do larger scale content. So along with raid groups is coming raids, right? We're getting a big raid. The Sandworm and Brimstone Sands is going to be the very first one that we get. It's going to be the hardest to date PvE content. It's going to be fully coordinated group of 20 people to beat the worm. That's what it's going to take, they said. And then OPR cross world is huge. That's coming in. I think that's going to be a really big deal. So you're going to be able to play against people in your region. So cross server is just going to be people in your region. So they this is going to be a gate to other cross world activities, and then other game modes will be brought into cross world over time, they mentioned. So some other notable mentions here is they said this is not a comprehensive list of new features. They are bringing in new hard gem runes, new quality of life changes are going to be coming in constantly, and then there's a lot of new cinematics coming in. So that is the overarching big picture of what's happening. I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this roadmap, because whenever we're streaming, we watched this video, a lot of people were underwhelmed with the roadmap. To me, I think this roadmap is pretty good. There's a lot of things coming into the game. We're getting the Empyrean Forge expedition, not to mention the Starstone Amorai mashup. We're getting both of those very soon, it seems, or we're getting Starstone Amorai mashup soon. Then Empyrean Forge will come into spring, so that'll give us a little bit of content to tide over until then. Gear set storage is amazing. That's a huge deal that everybody wants. That's going to improve gameplay across the board. We have another event coming in, which I think people just enjoy it. It'll be kind of a fun event, short-lived, nothing too crazy, but I think that does take a lot of work. And then MSQ improvements, I think they're still just trying to build on the foundation of the game still during 2023 to try to make it better, get it to a point where they can start to just pump out a lot of content is my thought. Then in summer, we're getting a transmog, which is huge. We're getting the base for raids, which is another really big deal. Cross world outpost rush is another really big deal, I think, for the game, for the PvP world. Then the summer medley fair event, and I think people are disappointed because there's not a lot of PvP items on here, which is maybe a little bit unfortunate. But you know, maybe in the future we'll get some new maps, something like that. We'll see. And then there's not a new weapon on here either. I think people were expecting a new weapon. For me personally, I'm okay with this. There's a lot of good stuff coming into the game with this roadmap. I'm okay. I wasn't really underwhelmed. I mean, we have transmog, raids, we have cross server or cross world OPR, we have a new gear system, we have a new expedition, we have a couple of new events to participate in. I think it's pretty good. I think it's all right. I'm excited for it. I think this is a good roadmap. What do you guys think, man? Are you underwhelmed? Are you underwhelmed, or do you like it? Do you think this is spot on? What were you expecting if you're a little bit underwhelmed? That's going to do it for this one. Hopefully it saved you a little bit of time, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. I appreciate. Oh, by the way, if you want to catch us live, come to Twitch every Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. CST. We'll be there streaming, having a good time. But thank you so much, boys and girls. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. We'll see you in the next one.